Alright, so I thought this channel was going nowhere until I got one comment commenting about if I was gonna make more videos about languages. So I decided to talk about things that frustrate me being bilingual. So let's go into the brain a little bit. So I'm just gonna talk for myself and the knowledge that I've gathered and figure out myself having a psychobio degree. So my brain is pretty much wired in Spanish. If you don't get to learn a language after puberty, you don't get like proper grammar. You don't have like a base. And luckily I do have a base, which is Spanish. I learned a second language after puberty, so that's why I'm stuck with the accent. I can get rid of the accent if somebody puts me through therapy, speech therapy, but I don't want to do that. I feel like having an accent, it's part of me. And I'm stuck with it, and I was not in denial, but like I didn't let myself do stuff or be part of things because I had an accent and I didn't like how I sounded. I do have this beautiful voice in my mind when I'm reading by myself on my own, and it reads to me perfectly in English and Spanish. When I start reading out loud in English, it just sounds retarded, sounds like crap. But like I have to be okay with it, and I feel like at this point in my life I am okay with it. My brain is wired to the phonetics and the phonology of my first language, which is Spanish. So now every time I talk in English, I have to rewire all the neurons to get those paths for those exact phonemes that English requires. In practice, you can speak it, I guess. You can understand me because I've been practicing my English for a lot of years now, but it's not gonna be perfect because I do not have the base of those phonemes in the second language. So when the brain is young, you are able to wire everything that you learn, and it's gonna be your base before you become an adult. After you start changing into an adult, whatever, so teenage years, your brain is less spongy. I will say that, since you know the phrase that kids are like sponges, they just like absorb everything. The plasticity of the brain is really high when you're young, and then you become really rigid as you become older, and that's normal. It's part of life. So do not come to somebody with an accent telling them how they're supposed to speak, because it's not that they don't want to speak it right, it's just it is what it is. It's nature. And I'd rather be speaking multiple languages with accents than just be able to speak one, because I feel like I'm not gonna enjoy the world. I only have one life, one world, and there's a lot of variety and a lot to know and a lot to see and a lot to discover. And if I'm stuck in one single place, I'm not gonna take advantage of this life. I encourage everybody not to be shy about an accent just because you feel that you're gonna sound retarded. Because listen to me, I'm stuck with it. There's nothing I can do. I remember speaking to friends in college, and they were bilingual too, saying how people, they will correct them when they were starting to learn English. And there's ways that you can tell somebody the right way to say things, and there's a wrong way too. There's people that they correct you right away. It's like, no, you don't say that, you say it like this. And I know they mean well, but it's kind of embarrassing when you're in front of people and somebody tries to correct you right away. And I did not mean to say it wrong. It's probably my brain did not work as fast as yours. I could say something wrong. The next person will say about the same phrase, but she will say it or he will say it right, and I will make a mental note. It's like, oh, that's how you say it. It's really subtle, very, very subtle, and you don't get embarrassed. People are either left-handed or right-handed. This is because it takes less energy for your brain to only use one side, like one hand, instead of using both at the same time, instead of being dominant both hands. If you're dominant with both hands, it takes a lot more energy and a lot of connections between your right and your left hemisphere that you can be using for other things. It is not wrong to be dominant in both hands, but it's easier for the brain to only have one dominant hand, be more efficient, I guess. That's the way I can see it. with languages. I do have a friend, he's trilingual, he's trying to be multilingual. I think he's going after his fifth language right now. But when he was starting to learn his third language, he will get really confused and he will get really frustrated that he could not remember words in either Spanish or English or French, or he couldn't translate one phrase in French to like Spanish, and he would get really frustrated. He would feel stupid. So I told him, dude, you're speaking three languages. What else do you want? Like, that is awesome. Almost nobody can say that. So you shouldn't be angry about it. You know, if you forget a couple words, whatever. Your brain is a big mess right now because you're learning your third language. It's really hard, especially after you're an adult. I do feel stupid when I do forget phrases or words in either Spanish or English, because I cannot translate like a couple phrases because they're kind of like localisms. Is that a word in English? I don't even know. At the end of the day, I just have to be okay because this is who I am. If you have any struggles like these, let me know in the comments so I'll learn more about it, because this is really interesting to me when it comes to brain functions and all of that. Alright, so I'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed me babbling about things not making sense from the brain to the mouth, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.